Whatever happened to critical thinking? So critical thinking, when I was a college student, I took a class in critical thinking, and it actually was taught by a mathematician. It was a great class. I enjoyed it. But it taught me to how to think critically, not what to think, but how to think. And my fear is that way too many youngsters are being indoctrinated in college and taught what to think, not how to think. And I think more people, especially students, need to take critical thinking classes and learn how to think. If you've never heard of it before, I'm not surprised. I had to elect to take the class. It wasn't a requirement, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. So there are kind of like 5 basic principles, 5 parts to critical thinking. The first is to formulate your question. So if something happens, let's take the Nord Stream pipeline, for instance. You probably heard about it in the news. It got blown up. It was a pipeline that supplied gas, natural gas from Russia to Germany, and it was blown up. So my question would be, well, who's responsible for that? They tried to blame the Russians, but the Russians don't have an interest in blowing up their own pipeline, and the Germans certainly wouldn't do it. So there's a reporter by the name of Seymour Hersh, Cy Hersh, who has reported that it was actually the Biden administration that did it, and that they used U.S. Navy SEALs to do the deed, if you will, which is an act of war against an ally of ours, Germany. I believe Germany may have owned the pipeline. So there's a bunch of different answers to that question. So who did it? And that's the interesting question. So you have to decide, do you believe the government? More and more, I'm realizing that the government lies to us on a regular basis. So I'm not particularly akin to that answer. I don't necessarily trust the government to tell us the truth. Do I trust Cy Hersh? Well, to a certain extent. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. He's the guy who reported on the My Lai massacre in Vietnam in 1969. So he has quite a bit of credentials. So the second phase, after you figure out what your question is, you gather information. You're going to gather information. So you get information from news media who don't seem to report on this pipeline incident very much. Then apply that information. That's number 3. Apply the information. In this case, I'm trying to sort out who do I believe regarding the Nord Stream pipeline. So that's how I'm applying that information. Then consider the implications. Well, what are the implications? Well, the implications are actually quite large. The U.S. president may have violated the Constitution and conducted an act of war on an ally of ours. So the implications are pretty large for that. And then explore other points of view. Well, I haven't heard too many of those yet, but I will look into them. So the same applies to this debate with the passport bros, right? So do your diligence, formulate your question. My question is, what's their stake? Is that a good idea? And obviously, so I'm tainted because I was married to a Filipina, and I enjoy the Philippines. So going there to find a woman that is a reliable partner and that's feminine, that has all the qualities that I'm looking for, when Western women are not so much. That's one to think through with that same process. Formulate your question, gather information, apply the information, consider the implications, and explore other points of view. And those are the things that allow us to reasonably think through an argument. Okay? Too many people, I feel, this is my view, in my view, too many people rely strictly on emotion. So you do have to step back from it, apply some critical thinking skills, and that should help you out. So another little tip is look for what's not being said. That when you're formulating your question, or plural questions, look for the things that aren't being talked about. Notice how mainstream media, Fox News, ABC, NBC, MS gargantuans, all these mainstream media outlets, what are they talking about and what are they not talking about? Those are some things to also consider. So anyway, guys, I hope this little tutorial on critical thinking is of help to you. I would encourage you to go learn more about it if you're not already tuned in to what critical thinking is. It's something that everybody should be employing, especially those of us that live in a republic like the United States, where we make the decisions about who we send to office, and we should be thinking critically about what these people say and what they don't say. The same is true in the Philippines, except when I'm in the Philippines, I don't have any political power whatsoever. I have no vote. But you can still use critical thinking to decide what you want to have out of a relationship, and is the woman that you're interested in suitable for a long-term relationship, assuming that's what you want. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.